Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to switch from the Mint to the TDMA based firmware in an InfiNet wireless point-to-multipoint setup. First, I want to mention that all the MIMO devices of our R5000 product family, namely from H05 to H08 and H11 hardware platforms, can be used either with the adaptive marker access technology called polling, which is enabled in the default configuration, or with the time division multiple access technology called TDMA. The polling-based firmware is referred to as Mint, while the TDMA-based firmware is described as TDMA. Despite this convention, the Mint set of protocols is still available in the TDMA-based firmware as well as it is in the polling-based firmware. The only difference between the two firmware options is the medium access method. Polling is a dynamic marker access method in which the master unit or the base station is responsible for allowing all the slave units or CPEs to transmit their data in turns for different periods of time according to the amount or type of traffic that each unit has to transmit. With TDMA, on the other hand, the base station assigns a fixed time slot within the TDMA time frame for each CPE during which it can transmit data. Also, TDMA uses a continuous bitstream transmission instead of a packet transmission used by the polling technology. Some of the situations when it is recommended to use TDMA are frequency reuse for collocated units using the external GPS synchronization hub, operation in conditions like near line of sight, non-line of sight, or over-the-water links, triple play service provisioning because of the low jitter, SLA provisioning because of the stable latency, and when there is at least one bad CPE in the network that has a very low bitrate and can affect the performance of the whole sector. On the other hand, it may be better to use polling in the following situations: narrowband operation in 5 or 10 MHz because of the lower amount of service information like sync and guard. And polling may also operate better than TDMA in very noisy environments with heavy interference because the corrupted data can be retransmitted immediately without having to wait for the next time frame. As an example, I have prepared a simple point-to-multipoint setup with a base station and two CPEs. All three units are operating using the Mint firmware, and the purpose is to upgrade them to the TDMA version. The first thing you need to do is to download the TDMA firmware for each unit type from the InfiNet FTP server. In my case, I have one H08 revision unit, which is the base station, and two H11 revision units, namely the two CPEs. So, I will go to ftp.infinet.ru/pub/firmware/TDMA, select H08, and click on the latest firmware for the H08 unit in order to download it. Then I will go back, select H11, and download the latest firmware for the H11 units. The over-the-air option is not available in case of upgrading from Mint to TDMA or vice versa, so the switch has to be done manually for each unit. To minimize the downtime of the links, we recommend the following procedure. Step 1. Manually upload the new TDMA firmware to every CPE, but do not click the reboot button right after the upload. So in my case, I will first go to Maintenance on CPE 1 and upload the H11 TDMA firmware that I have downloaded earlier. Click Choose File in the firmware field, select the correct firmware file, and click the Upload button. After the upload, click OK when informed that the new firmware is different from the current one, and as I said earlier, do not reboot the unit right away. Then I will go to CPE 2 and upload the same firmware file. Step 2. After the upload has been completed on both CPEs, it is time to reboot them. I will hit Reboot first on CPE 1 and then on CPE 2. Please note that now the services on the CPE units will be suspended until the firmware update is also performed on the base station and the links will be re-established. Step 3. Upload the TDMA firmware on the base station. First of all, I will go to Basic Settings, Link Settings, RF50 on the base station, and I will make sure that polling is enabled. Otherwise, the base station will be configured as slave during the upgrade. Then, I will go to Maintenance and upload the H08 TDMA firmware file. Finally, the last step is to reboot the base station. After the restart, go to the device status window to see if the links have been re-established. For additional benefits, besides the ones offered by the TDMA-based firmware, like low jitter, predictable delay, multipath resilience, etc., we recommend using our external GPS synchronization hub, which has been designed to provide a timing reference for the InfiMan 2x2 base station sectors and InfiLink 2x2 Pro master units. In combination with InfiNet's proprietary TDMA-based wireless architecture, it provides TDD synchronization to our systems, thus eliminating self-interference between multiple collocated units and enabling frequency reuse within the same site. Please note that the synchronization unit is designed only for H08 devices configured as master. The transmission and reception of all the CPEs or slave units will also be synchronized regardless of their hardware platform if their base stations or master units have the same timing reference. The timing reference of the auxiliary audio sync devices is GNSS based, so that you can perform not only intra-site but also inter-site synchronization. This means that you can synchronize not only the collocated devices, but also the base stations that are installed in different locations because their time reference will be the same. If you have just switched from the Mint firmware to TDMA, like in my example, first you must reboot the base station, and only then connect the synchronization unit to the console port of the device. To enable synchronization, you must go to Basic Settings, Link Settings, RF50 on the base station and check the Use Auxiliary Audio Sync box. Then